You did this about 6 times today, maybe more. You didn't think about it once. You walked into a small room. You closed a door. You had privacy, clean water, soap, and everything disappeared instantly. Now take all of that away. No door, no toilet, no paper, no soap, no running water, no plumbing of any kind. You're standing in a prehistoric forest 100,000 years ago, and you need to go right now. But here's the problem. Wherever you go, you leave something behind. A scent, a trail, a signal. And in the Stone Age, a scent trail could bring a predator straight to your family while they sleep. Sounds dramatic, doesn't it? Yet this was a real daily calculation for our ancestors. Where you went to the bathroom could decide whether your group survived the week. But here's the twist. Ancient humans weren't wandering off randomly and hoping for the best. They developed rules, habits, locations, timing, an entire hidden system that nobody ever wrote down. So where did they actually go? How did they stay clean? Why did whole groups pack up and move because of it? And what ancient bathroom instinct are you still following today without realizing it? Let's find out. Chapter 1. The problem nobody talks about. Every animal on Earth faces this problem. Most solve it by ignoring it completely. Birds don't care. Fish don't care. But humans are different. We're big. We're slow. We sleep in one place for days at a time. And we live in group. That combination creates a serious issue. Waste attracts attention. Flies arrive first, then beetles, then scavengers. And scavengers are followed by predators. A hyena doesn't need to see you. It needs to smell that something living is nearby. Waste is a signature. It says humans are here. It says they were here recently. It even says how many. For a small family group, that was dangerous information to leave lying around. So the first rule was simple. Never go where you sleep, never go where you eat, and never go where you drink. That third rule mattered most of all, because contaminating your own water source doesn't just attract predators, it kills your group slowly from the inside. Chapter 2. So, where did they actually go? Here's what surprises people. Ancient humans had designated areas, not built, not marked, but understood by everyone, usually downwind from camp, usually downhill, always away from water, and always far enough that scent didn't drift back, but not so far that walking there at night became dangerous. That's a delicate balance. Too close, and you attract predators to your family. Too far, and you become the prey. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer groups found the same pattern again and again. Distances of roughly 30 to 100 meters from camp. Downwind, behind cover, and often, people went in pairs, not for company, for safety. Someone watched the darkness while the other was vulnerable. That instinct to feel exposed and defenseless in that moment? It's ancient. Your body still produces it. Chapter 3. The cleanup problem. Now for the question everyone actually wants answered. What did they use? There was no paper. Paper wasn't invented until around 2,000 years ago, and using it this way came much later. So people used whatever the landscape provided. Large, soft leaves, moss, grass, snow, in cold regions, smooth stones, sand, even seashells along coastline, and in many places, the simplest solution of all, water. Rivers, streams, and lakes were used for washing throughout most of human history. In fact, water-based cleaning is still the standard across a huge portion of the world today. Paper is the unusual choice, not the other way around. But there's something more important here. Ancient humans knew which plants to avoid. Some leaves irritate skin badly. Others cause rashes that last for weeks. That knowledge had to be learned, painfully, and then taught to every child. Imagine that lesson. The most practical education in human history, passed down for thousands of generations. Never written, never forgotten. Chapter 4. Why groups packed up and left. Here's something almost nobody realizes. Waste is one of the reasons humans kept moving. A small group can stay in one place comfortably for a while, days, sometimes weeks. But waste accumulates, flies multiply, smell build, parasites spread, and eventually, staying becomes more dangerous than leaving. So the group moved. New valley, new shelter, fresh ground. This wasn't laziness or restlessness. It was sanitation. Nomadic life solved the waste problem by simply walking away from it. And that worked beautifully for hundreds of thousands of years, until humans did something that changed everything. We stopped moving. Chapter 5. Farming made it much worse. Around 12,000 years ago, humans began farming. We built permanent homes. We stayed in one place year-round. We kept animals close by. And suddenly, the old solution stopped working. You can't walk away from waste when your entire food supply is planted in the ground beneath you. Villages grew, then towns, then cities. And human waste piled up in ways it never had before. The results were devastating. Contaminated water, explosive parasite load, diseases that simply couldn't spread in small mobile groups. Cholera, dysentery, typhoid. These are diseases of settlement, diseases of density. Skeletons from early farming communities show it clearly. Shorter people, weaker bones, more disease than the hunter-gatherers who came before them. For a long time, settling down actually made human health worse. So humans had to invent a solution. Chapter 6. The invention of the toilet. And they did. In In Scotland, at a Stone Age village called Skara Brae, archaeologists found stone-built drains running beneath the houses, small recesses in the walls connected to them. Those may be among the earliest indoor toilets ever discovered, roughly 5,000 years old. In the Indus Valley, cities went further. Homes connected to brick-lined drains running under the streets, covered channels, waste carried away from where people lived, planned sanitation. In a city built before the pyramids were finished, the Romans took it to an extreme. Massive public latrines with long stone benches, dozens of people sitting side by side, no dividers, no privacy at all, constant running water beneath them. To a Roman, this was completely normal, social even. Then Rome fell, and much of that knowledge was lost for over 1,000 years. Medieval cities emptied waste into the streets, into rivers, into the same water people drank, and humanity paid for it again and again in plague after plague. The flushing toilet as we know it only became common in the 1800s. And here's the part that should genuinely shock you. Doctors didn't widely accept that washing hands prevented disease until the late 1800s. That's less than 200 years ago, out of 200,000 years of human existence. Chapter 7. What you still do without knowing. Now think about your own behavior. You lock the door, even when you're home alone. You feel uneasy when someone waits outside. You go quiet. You stay alert. You want it over quickly. That's not just modern politeness. That's a survival reflex. For most of human history, this was the moment you were most vulnerable. Slow to react, unable to run, distracted, alone. Your brain still treats it as a threat window. There's more. Your body naturally squats. That's the posture humans used for 200,000 years. Modern toilets changed the angle, not the instinct. And notice this too. Almost every human culture on Earth developed a taboo around this subject. Different languages, different continents, no contact between them, same instinct. Hide it, bury it, move away from it. That's not culture inventing the same idea 100 separate times by coincidence. That's something much older. Ending. So how did ancient humans go to the bathroom? Carefully, deliberately, with rules that everyone knew and nobody wrote down. Downwind. Downhill? Away from water. Never near where they slept. And always aware that something in the dark might be paying attention. Plumbing is about 5,000 years old. Soap and hand washing, as a medical practice, less than 200. But the instinct to seek privacy, to feel exposed, to move away and cover your traces, that's 200,000 years old, maybe older. The next time you close that door behind you, remember, you're not just being polite. You're obeying one of the oldest survival rules our species ever learned. If you enjoyed this journey into prehistoric life, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments, what ancient habit do you think you're still following today? We'll see you in the next adventure.